What's up, everybody? We hope that you are doing well. We have been praying for you in this time, praying that you are all staying safe, staying at home, doing what you can to stay healthy. We want to look at Psalm 139, verses 1 through 12 in this episode of Thoughts on Scripture. Starting in verse 1, it says, "O Lord, you have searched me and known me. You know when I sit down and when I rise up. You discern my thoughts from afar. You search out my path and my lying down, and are acquainted with all my ways, even before a word is on my tongue. Behold, O Lord, you know it altogether. You hem me in behind and before, and you lay your hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me. It is too high, and I cannot attain it. Where shall I go from your spirit? Or where shall I flee from your presence? If I ascend to heaven, you are there. If I make my bed in Sheol, you are there. If I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there your hand shall lead me, and your right hand shall hold me. If I say, surely the darkness shall cover me, and the light about me be night, even the darkness is not dark to you. For the night is bright as the day, for darkness is as light with you." So I don't know about you guys, but I have found that in the middle of this time, when we're all staying at home trying to do our part, that it has become extremely easy to become lazy and to not make an effort to spend time growing closer with God, reading His Word, praying, listening to worship music, whatever it may look like for you. It's very easy for us to become lazy in our efforts. But this passage really jumped out to me as I was preparing for this episode because it's very applicable for the situation we find ourselves in right now. The first 6 verses, David writes about how God is in control of everything and He knows all things. And that is a great reminder for us in the middle of this to know that God is in control and He knows how this situation is going to play out. He's already there, and He knows how this can be used for His kingdom, for His gospel. In verses 7 through 10, David writes that God is everywhere. It doesn't matter where David runs, God is already there waiting on him. So these verses serve as a great reminder for us right now that God is here. He is in the middle of this, but this is a time that we can use for our benefit as we seek to grow closer to God, because He's here and He is waiting for us to make an effort, make the move, and grow closer to Him. We do that by reading His Word and seeking His presence. I want to focus specifically on the last 2 verses of this passage, verses 11 and 12, where David writes, "Surely the darkness shall cover me, and the light about me be night. But even the darkness is not dark to you. The night is bright as the day, for darkness is as light with you." We know when we read John chapter 1, verses 4 and 5, that John writes about the life and the light that Jesus brings when He comes to earth as a man. So when we see that David is writing this passage talking about the light, we can associate that with God's presence, Jesus. Jesus is the light, and it is our job to share that light. So in the middle of this self-isolation, in this social distancing that we find ourselves in, I want to challenge you guys, challenge myself, really. This has been a challenge for all of us, but more so now than ever, to share the light of Jesus in the middle of this darkness. What would it look like if all of us, if all of the Christians use this situation, use this virus, this pandemic? What if we use this as an opportunity to share the gospel with the people around us that are affected by this around the world? What would it look like if we shined a little light in the middle of this darkness? Because Jesus is the light, and He brings us hope. He brings us life, and God alone can heal each and every one of us. So I want to leave you guys with a challenge to make an effort to grow closer to God, grow in the presence of God. We see in Psalm 139 that it doesn't matter how dark the night is, because it's light. when you have God. The darkest night is as bright as day when you're in the presence of God. So I hope and I pray that you guys tune in to our live stream on Wednesday as Tyler continues to lead us through James. And then be sure to check our next episode of Thoughts on Scripture. See you guys next time.